Hello, I hope you have been well. Today we are here to talk about the 5 key searches you need to undertake if you're an intending purchaser of land in Uganda. My name is Fiona Orichiriza. I'm a lawyer. I practice with Sasiro and Company Advocates, and let's get into it. Number one, you need to conduct a search at the land registry. And this is the commonest type of search that most of us know, because the law requires that before you undertake a transaction that involves purchase of land, you should be diligent enough to know what is on the white page at the land registry. The importance of this is that sometimes our own eyes cannot tell a fraudulent title from a valid title. And the only way to know that what you have been presented on a title, both who the vendor is, the dimensions, the description of the land, is actually the truth, is by you conducting this kind of search. What does it take? It takes you writing to the Commissioner of Land Titles or the Registrar of Titles. You pay the requisite fees, you give the description of the land, and the land office will generate a report which will come with all the information that is currently registered on the white page. What kind of information will you expect in that report? Is the name of the vendor, the dimensions of the land, if there are any encumbrances registered on the land, for example, if there is a caveat, if there is a mortgage, all those are going to be they will come out in the report. They will either tell you there are these encumbrances or there is none. And as a very diligent buyer, you know that each time you purchase property that has encumbrances, you take that property subject to those encumbrances. Number 2 search is you need to do a physical search. It is not enough that you have done a search at the land registry. You need to visit the property, open boundaries with a surveyor, confirm that indeed the dimensions you've been presented, no one has encroached on that land, but also to establish that maybe the land is vacant. If you find there are people there, you need to find out who they are, because in Uganda, we have a unique position where you find chiwanja holders, squatters on a property, and they have protections under the law. Now, if you do not want to be in conflict with the law after you have purchased, pulling a rope, going back and forth, trying to get people off your land, you need to establish the kind of interests the people who are on the land have. If they are chiwanja holders, if they are squatters, find out whether they have been compensated, discuss with your vendor who has the mandate to compensate them. Have they consented to the vendor selling off the property? Because chiwanja holders are always given the first right to purchase their interest in property. Number 3 search you need to conduct is at the Physical Planning Authority. Now, as the Physical Planning Authority, the reason you need to do this kind of search is that in the planning guidelines, different areas are designated for different activities. You'll find there are areas which are purely commercial, other areas are purely residential, while other areas are both commercial and residential. They are mixed. Now, depending on what you intend on doing the land that you want to purchase, you don't want to find that the purpose for which you bought the land cannot be effected because the law defeats the purpose. Number 4, you need to conduct a search or make inquiries from the NEMA office, because NEMA, which is our environmental authority, has the mandate to protect some lands. Let me give you an example. You'll find that if you want to do any activity in a land which is gazetted as a wetland, unless you have express permit from NEMA, you will not be allowed. If you look in the NEMA Act, in the schedules, you'll find different areas and what you are allowed to do in those different areas. And the last kind of search, I had kind of hinted on it, is trying to actually find out what kind of interests the squatters, the chibanja holders have on the land and how their interests are going to be dealt with. Thank you so much for giving us your time. We hope this has been helpful. If you're a company, if you're a business, if you're a foreigner who is hoping to acquire land in Uganda, those 5 different searches are very important because there are people who have acquired land and they find they cannot use it, and you should not be one of them. Thank you so much. Subscribe, like, leave us a comment, and come and watch the rest of our content. Thank you.